How did you get on that production of the Get Down? Break it down to us. Man, I'm finna kick back. I've watched every episode, right? Season 1 and season 2.
Incredible.
Yes, and I just need to know your experience, just being on the set and working with the people, and what was your experience on that? How did this happen? How did it happen?
Well, very fortunate. I think a lot of this business can be right place, right time, but part of that is kind of how they say when preparation meets opportunity. So it's having the preparation there, and when the opportunity strikes, being able to be prepared for the moment.
Yeah.
So I actually started just as a utility stand-in on the show. So they had a bunch of actors, female actors around my height that they needed to come in and stand in. So that's how I actually started. And then I'd say a few months into that, I ended up being the main stand-in for Horizon Guardiola, who's the lead actress on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I started also doing her photo doubling, her body doubling.
Okay.
And then last year at the time, I was doing, like I told you, a lot of stunt training. I was training on a regular basis. I was starting to kind of put a little action reel together. And so I had the opportunity one day on set to speak to the stunt coordinator, Johnny C., who's an incredible stunt coordinator and very well known in the business. And I was able to show him my action reel.
Yeah.
And I said, because, obviously at this point I knew I was a good match for Miss Horizon Guardiola.
Mm-hmm.
And so I showed him my reel, and he said, yeah. He said, you're definitely capable of doing, any stunts that you would have coming up. So I'd say a little while later, something came up where she needed a double, and I ended up getting the call from production.
Interesting.
So yeah.
So was you like in the shots where she was on stage performing, or was it like certain parts?
No. So I actually one day was supposed to stunt double her for one scene. However, it was a scene. I don't know who's seen the show, but it's a scene where it's a altercation between her and her father. But they actually didn't have another dress. She had this very elaborate outfit, and so obviously they needed another one. So what they ended up actually doing is they needed a stunt person to be in the scene in between kind of like the roughing up parts that's going on.
Okay.
So that's what I ended up doing my very first time in stunts on set. And then I worked another day, which I believe was a reshoot. I think she shot the scene as well. And then I think because of other reasons in the scene, they needed to just get some more angles. So I ended up being the one, it's a scene where she's in the club with Yaya's character, who played Cadillac.